So you never asked them where that 60 racks went, bro?
I did.
How did he respond? How did he respond?
Yo, Sheik, pull up, son. I need to know. I need to know where that 60 racks went.
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, everybody's pretty much talking about the controversy between Styles P, Math Hoffa, and J Hood. After J Hood went on Math Hoffa's podcast, My Expert Opinion, it had some things to say concerning D Block and the locks and, his departure. Now, I think a lot of it is mainly because we're not used to seeing Styles P on the internet, addressing things. So when he does, people are usually interested, especially in this case where a lot of people who was fans of D Block and the locks, and we was wondering why J Hood actually left. And now we're finding out why, and then come to find out it's some controversy behind it as well.
And 20 years down the line, you are still bitter and using our name for attention. What?
Now, Styles P was upset at not only J Hood and stating that he don't owe J Hood no $60,000, but he was also mad at Math Hoffa as well.
Math, I'm disappointed in you, bro. In my expert opinion, you didn't ask me anything about J Hood. Then you want to have J Hood up there. You could have called me on my line to fact check the shit he was saying.
Styles P says that Math should have called him to fact check whatever J Hood was saying, and mentions that on behalf of Math, that was whack on his part for not calling. He feels Math Hoffa was supposed to call to verify what J Hood was saying, but let's be real, man, that'll be a little bit biased, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. It's three sides to every story, yours, mine, and the truth. So who's to say that your version is any more credible than the next man? And let's be serious, do you really think Styles is going to agree and say, well, yeah, what J Hood is saying is absolutely facts. Yeah, Math, put it out. No, he's not. Let's be real. And from Math's standpoint, he's just doing journalism and finding out stories from these individuals, and he's just as much of a fan as the audience that is watching.
I wasn't there with you niggas. I don't know. I have no idea. And if I do feel away and I reach out and y'all don't reach back, what do you want me to do?
So like he stated in the live, he does sit back and allow them to pretty much get their spill out. Now, during his interview with Math, and I'm referring to Styles P, he's saying that Math Hoffa didn't ask him anything about J Hood, but when J Hood was up there, he asked J Hood about Styles P, and that's not how it really went. I do gotta say that. Math Hoffa just asked like what happened when he departed from D Block, like what was the reason, and then he told him. Now when it comes to that, did Math try and have J Hood on his platform to purposely get a reaction out of him, about D Block? Who knows? It is a possibility, but honestly, I doubt it. They were just in conversation and the topic came up. I doubt Math even knew that J Hood was going to say what he said, because it was probably a shocker to him as well, hearing everything that was going on behind the scenes, being that he was a fan of the locks himself. Even I was shocked. But y'all also have to remember that it's a bunch of things that go on behind the scenes in regards to your favorite celebrity. It just is what it is. Don't be so fanned out of anybody where you believe that they can't do no wrong, because guess what? Nobody's perfect. And honestly, Styles P said that J Hood is speaking on their name 20 years later, but in all actuality, he was asked a question and he spoke on it. Simple. Math Hoffa asked him why he departed from D Block, and the man spoke his truth. Notice I said his truth and I didn't say the truth. Because nobody was there when it comes to us, but them, J Hood, Styles P, Jada, and Sheik. So we don't know what the truth is, but he spoke his truth about how things went according to him. Simple. All right. Now, when it comes to Math and his response to how Styles P responded, because Styles P did come a little, you know, he was a little aggressive, and I feel that Math was a little respectful of Styles P. I don't know if this is the new Math, you know, the mature Math, but I respect it because he didn't jump out the window and call Styles P names. He didn't say anything funny. Honestly, he wasn't being funny. He was just explaining what happened, and it sounded like he was being very genuine. Now, his position is he's a journalist, and he really shouldn't have to hit anybody up because he's just doing his job.
We're just recording the stories, homie. That's all we doing. It don't mean I hate you if I sit there and got something to say about you.
You know, hearing what went down between both sides and giving guys the opportunity to tell their side of the story. That's all. You know, and perfectly honest, he shouldn't have to be in the middle of whatever they got going on. But he did mention he still ended up contacting Sheek Louch and Jadakiss after the interview with J Hood before he even put the video out, and them guys ducked him for 2 weeks. So, honestly, if y'all ducking the man and not replying when he was trying to reach out, how could you get mad at him for putting it out after nobody replied for over 2 weeks? And once again, he's just doing his job as a journalist. Now, usually how journalism works, you bring someone to your show, they may or may not speak on certain people or things, but if they do speak on on somebody, and the person they speak on feel away, they'll usually reach out to the platform and ask for them to have an opportunity to tell their side of the story, and it's left at that. You never get mad at the interviewer because the interviewer can't control what's being said. You know, it's up to his discretion if he want to take certain things out. You know, that's up to him. You know, but you can't get mad at the interviewer unless the interviewer is being messy and sitting there entertaining it and bad mouthing somebody. That's totally different. That's not good interviewing skills. However, I do find it funny that DJ Vlad does this all the time and no one says anything to him. Nobody get mad at him. They just say, well, you know what? Vlad is doing his job. These guys are getting on his platform saying whatever. Nobody gets mad at Vlad unless, you know, he's being, you know, the feds, but that's something totally different. But it's no reason to get mad at Math for doing his job. Simple. You know, the only thing I could think of is that maybe Styles P felt as if him and Math had a friendship and felt disrespected because they was cool and he put J Hood on his platform. But you can't do that, man. You know, you got business and you got personal. That's just business. That's this man's job. Not to mention, if he do allow something like that, that's called blackballing. You know, if I got a relationship with you and someone comes to your platform and you don't give them a fair chance at an interview because of your relationship with so-and-so, that's being biased. It's not fair. And not to mention, you lower the credibility of your platform when you do things like that. So I don't agree with that, honestly. You know, now when it comes to the things that Styles P was saying, he was saying a whole bunch of things aimed at J Hood. He kind of went, you know, he kind of took a couple low blows to him, but it is what it is. Styles P said that while J Hood was up there, he should have apologized.
I'm offended that you didn't just go up there and actually apologize.
And he also proceeded to say that J Hood, that they took care of J Hood. What else? They took care of him. They gave him the clothes off his back. You know, things of that nature. They paid his mother rent, all type of things, man.
You're not part of D Block because you ain't cut from the cloth we cut from.
J Hood did admit that they did take care of him to a degree, and they did give him his name. Oh, that's another thing. They said something about they gave J Hood his name, you know. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. J Hood did make a good point. He says that Styles mentioned that he was ungrateful and acted like they didn't do anything for him, right? And he shouldn't be talking about it 20 years later. Pretty much, you know, like biting the hand that feed him or whatever the case may be. However, he did state that it's no different than what they did with Diddy when they went on their smear campaign back in the day and dissed Diddy after he set them up and gave them an opportunity as well. You see how that works? Because all he doing is speaking on some things that he felt went left, and that was it. So how is he wrong if they did the same thing? I get it. You know, I don't know if a lot of y'all remember, but this is back when Styles P, Jada, and Sheek, they was pretty much fighting for their masters and they publishing from Diddy when they used to be signed to Bad Boy and all that. You know, so I guess, you know, he does have a point. Now, when it comes to the $60,000, J Hood says that he didn't say that they owed him $60K or even owed him anything. What he said was when his house burned down, somebody from Koch says that they cut a $60,000 check and gave it to the guys on his behalf because they already went and told Koch that J Hood's house burned down. Now, the guy name is Alan Grumble, which was the manager at the time at Koch. He never specified who they gave, you know, who the exact guys were that he gave the check to. However, it's stated that somebody came to Koch and said, yo, pretty much J Hood's house burned down, you know, X, Y, and Z. They cut him a check and that was it. So by the time J Hood went back to try to, you know, get something because he ain't got nothing because, you know, his house burned down. They're saying that guys already went to, you know, the manager and got a check cut and nobody told J Hood. Now that, I must admit, is pretty shady. I actually wanted Styles P to elaborate on that, on what kind of happened, but he didn't. Because to me, that's probably the most shadiest thing out of the whole, you know, the whole story that I heard from both sides. You know, if somebody did in fact go to the manager of Koch, you know, in regards to his house burning down and get a type of check from it, but nobody cut him a check from it, that's shady. You know, that's pretty shady. This man's house burned down and y'all got a check for it. First of all, why did y'all even go to Koch to get a check and then cut him in? What made y'all go to Koch? Y'all knew y'all was gonna get a check, right? Or wrong? You know, who knows? But like I said, I can't sit here and say what is what. I can't say it's true or not. At the end of the day, Styles P didn't address it. But if it is in fact true and they did get a check on his behalf and didn't cut him in and didn't even tell him, that's messed up. That's shady. You know, so yeah, man, it's a couple things. I just, you know, I want to hear what you guys got to say about it. I felt it was need to speak on this because a lot of people do what Styles P did and kind of get it misconstrued where they like to target the interviewer or target, you know, a platform because somebody else came on a platform and said certain things.
I'm not allowing anybody to discredit the platform because they
you
have
know,
a problem.
It's usually up to the interviewer's discretion if they want to put something out. You know, if you my boy and I don't want to put this on there, then, you know, it's up to the discretion. But not every interviewer or platform does that. We don't play the buddy thing. It is what it is. You know, but once again, it's up to the interviewer's discretion. But anyway, that's pretty much it, man. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know how you feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.